I'm Ryan Kautz, video editor and production trainer at Witness. I recently returned from a 2-week intensive workshop in Skopje, Macedonia with my colleague Violeta Krasnic. The goal of the trip was to train staff from Healthy Options Project Skopje and Macedonian Harm Reduction Network's member organizations in video advocacy strategies and filmmaking techniques.
This training in Macedonia was really an exciting opportunity for us. It was the first training in line with our new strategic vision, and specifically the network campaign model, which is going to leverage the potential of networks and alliances to use video advocacy. In Macedonia, representatives from various organizations developed a strategic video advocacy campaign plan. They are going to use video to monitor and challenge the newly adopted anti-discrimination law, as well as mobilize affected communities to demand policy and legal amendments.
Violeta traveled to Macedonia ahead of me to discuss video advocacy methodology and to provide relevant case studies. She worked with the team to develop a strategic framework for the network's campaign. With clear advocacy goals in mind, we were able to start the production component of the training. We began by learning the basics of using a camcorder and how to use specific microphones to record sound in different situations. We discussed composition, different interviewing techniques, and how to secure informed consent before every recording. Each member of the group took turns practicing one of 3 roles: composing and recording an interview, conducting the interview, or discussing on camera their human rights work. We had 3 camera exercises that we would record in the field during the training, with the goal of making sure that everyone had hands-on experience in different real-life scenarios. The first exercise was recording vox pop interviews in the city to get spontaneous, unrehearsed opinions from people on the street. We asked for people's opinions on human rights and discrimination in Macedonia.
Дали мислиш дека човековите права во Македонија се кршат?
Ја мислам дека во Македонија највише од секоја земја се кршат правата.
Од донекде да.
Право да кажам, сум размислувала на тоа, али пошто ја не сум доживеала такво нешто, и мислам дека не. Ама некој што доживеал сигурно осеќа друго.
For the second camera exercise, we wanted to shoot a live event. We walked over to a local NGO where the Helsinki Committee for Human Rights was giving a press conference. We found the room empty and began to set up. We worked in 3 groups of 2 to get all the shots we would need to cover the press conference. One camera would be filming a wide shot of the panel, another a medium shot with a small mic attached to the podium. The third camera would be filming B-roll and cutaway shots. Soon enough, people from the Helsinki Committee began to show, and with them an onslaught of local media. It was funny seeing our small camcorders surrounded by these massive professional cameras. What's going on, Laura?
A little bit of a chaos in this room. It's too small. You can see the camera over there. You know, it's really like 2 meters on 2 meters.
The room was definitely chaotic, and having only had 2 days of experience with the cameras, the group did a brilliant job in collecting all the footage we needed, from the wide shot of the press conference, the B-roll and the cutaways, as well as the mid-shot, and making sure that we got good audio.
Не добивме лош закон за дискриминација, односно имаме општество во кое може слободно да се дискриминира, а да не бидеш казнен за тоа.
After the press conference, we started our third filming scenario by recording human rights experts in a formal interview setup with a list of prepared questions. The same groups that filmed the different shots of the press conference filmed different experts before they left the venue. We were even able to turn the cameras around on the media to get their opinions on how human rights is covered in Macedonia. After filming, we returned and labeled all our tapes and went over how to properly document our footage. We screened and critiqued our footage and enjoyed the instant gratification of video. The next phase of the training focused on video editing. After everyone learned the basics of using a Mac computer, we dove into Final Cut Pro, the editing software that the groups will be using to create their advocacy videos. We began by covering the basic layout and functions of the program and conducted short editing exercises to get everyone accustomed to the concepts of nonlinear editing. Everyone picked up the program surprisingly fast. After experimenting with the different tools of the program, we started working with our footage. We went over project organization and began making subclips of our video. We worked in 3 groups of 2. Each group worked separately in reviewing and cutting down footage from either the Vox Pop interviews, the press conference, or the expert interviews. For each interview or clip, we started writing out note cards describing what was being said. Each note card was color-coded to represent the interviewees and the theme. We discussed as a group what the basic narrative of our film would look like, and how the 3 different scenarios could be cut together to create a short advocacy film relating to the network's goals. We began storyboarding our film by taping our note cards to the wall. Throughout this process, the structure of our film constantly changed as we rearranged the cards so that each clip would complement the other and move the story forward. Through this paper edit, we were able to bring all the different components together to create a cohesive whole. Up to this point, each group had been working on one of the 3 scenarios separately. We now placed all the footage onto all 3 computers. From this point on, each group would work on editing into Final Cut what we had structured in our paper edit. As the film became shorter and shorter, we began the process of fine-tuning our edits. We went over Final Cut's text tool and learned how to place titles, text cards, subtitles, and credits into the sequence. We played around with some more advanced editing shortcuts, added music, mixed our audio levels, added transitions. Everything needed to have a polished video. On the last day of the training, we went over how to digitally conceal someone's identity. Many of the affected communities that this coalition will be working with will want their interviews to remain anonymous. We went over editing filters in Final Cut Pro that allow you to blur someone's face and to change the pitch of their voice, to distort it beyond recognition. It was an exhausting 2 weeks for us all, but rewarding in that we were able to run through the entire workflow of creating an advocacy video. It's always exciting to watch an idea develop into a film.
Па мислам дека најинтересно од целиот тренинг беше процесот низ кој што поминувавме сите како тим и фазите низ кои што поминувавме заедно. Оно што мене ме радува е дека направивме тим на луѓе кои што ќе работат вон сопствените организации, значи малку излегуваме од сопствените организации, размислуваме повеќе на ниво на мрежа, на коалиција.
Тренингот како таков ни даде знаење, значи како теоретско, така и практично, како нашите досегашни сознанија во однос на состојбите со овие маргинализирани групи би ги ставиле во функција нели на видеото и на тој начин би ја унапредиле нашата работа.
Супер е тоа што го научив во овие 2 недели, научив како да снимам, научив како да монтирам и научив што всушност видеоактивизмот значи и како може да се користи во нашата работа. Гласот на младите да се слушне преку видеоактивизмот.